Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's energy update with me, Rebecca Meisel. I am so excited to be coming to you this week. I know I have been a few weeks MIA, and that has simply been because I've gotten some new work, some new scheduling that has been happening, and also some holidays in there. So I've just kind of been trying to get some structure going here and resume these readings, and I'm really excited to get back to her today. So did some wonderful channeling for everyone this week, and we have some really cool themes. I know a lot of us have been looking into the astrology and the full moon that's happening this week, and we might be already kind of feeling these themes of release that have been coming in, these themes of deeper introspection. And it's so important this week to be mindful of really moving with the energies. And that's what I'm really hearing majorly for this week is learning how to surrender and flow with the ebb and flow. Really cool. So this week we got a beautiful theme of what we want this experience to be, and this is really coming through here. So let's get to it. The first thing that channeled through this week was I'm alive. What it means to be human, how to make the most of this journey and experience. Dissatisfaction breeds new needs. What are your needs now? More action, more adventure, more movement? Going deep beneath the surface, diving into the subconscious work, displaying kindness everywhere you go. And this is really cool because they're kind of showing me how some of us might be feeling a little bit of this, like, where am I? Where am I at in my life? What is it I really want? What is it? And who am I now? You know, I'm just seeing these bigger questions, especially surrounding like purpose, life purpose, what we want to be doing, the next actions. And some of us are kind of being called to slow down. And this is really that time to do that, to slow down and evaluate. And this is giving us this opportunity to go deep beneath the surface and really ask these questions and look at things at this deeper subconscious level. So this was cool because I feel like we're getting this real strong urge this week to go within and uncover what's really there. So as we do this, it might be really easy for us to judge. And this was that warning of displaying kindness everywhere you go. So when you're doing this deep subconscious work, being mindful of, okay, when I see something I don't like within my mentalities, within my life, within what I truly believe, I'm not going to judge it and I'm not going to pick it apart. And they're kind of showing me someone like picking at that scab and reopening it and not leaving it alone. And we need to learn how to heal these things, even on this very subconscious level, through love and through compassion. So this week we might have some things that we'll need to surrender to love. And this week we might get this awareness to what's not working, to what's bothering us, which is causing frustration, what is causing anger. And this is really this push for us to make change. So life becomes a blissful experience. It becomes a wholesome experience. It becomes an experience that we really want to be in. And so I feel like this very strong energy of I'm alive this week is so perfect because we're learning that it is okay to have imperfection. It is okay to not have everything be exactly where we want it to be. And we can still love the journey. We can still live a life that truly fulfills. So asking yourself these questions, am I dissatisfied? And why? Why am I dissatisfied? And I love how they illuminated this to your needs, because dissatisfaction breeds new needs. So they're kind of showing me how like previously the things that worked for us might not be working anymore. And it makes sense because we've evolved. all of us have gone through major upgrades and shifts. The energies of this planet have been going through huge upgrades and shifts. And it really needs to be mentioned, like, even if we're seeing a lot of darkness in this world, the light is illuminating this darkness. So we have to keep this in mind. Even if there are things that seem negative, things that don't seem to be going well, we have to remember the light is what illuminates the dark, so we can see it, so we can purge it, so we can clear it. And this is exactly what the earth is going through, is this deep detoxification process. So do not, and I repeat from the last update I did, do not fall into the pit of negativity. Do not keep your eyes focused on what is going wrong. Keep your eyes focused on what is going right, what you can do, and take that empowered action. So we're seeing this new birth and purpose come through. Light workers, are you fulfilling your purpose? Are you stepping into your greatness? Are you taking the lead and being the change that you want to see in this world? And how can you do that? They're really wanting us to go into that this week. This time is the time to be breeding change. So are you going to be the change, or are you going to be that catalyst of consistent negativity? Are you going to continue the past? No. It is time to break free. It is time to bring this revolution of love to this earth. So where are you standing? Where are you putting your focus? Where are you putting your energy? And how can you pivot it to an energy of unconditional love? So I'm really seeing this is where that subconscious work needs to come to the surface. And some of us are going to be illuminated to very negative programs that we have been programmed to continue. And we might get this illumination through this full moon of like, hey now, hey now, let's come out of this darkness. Let's come out of this negativity. What can we do? Right? Let's take the action now. Let's change the story. Let's change the narrative, right? This world needs you. This world needs your love. It doesn't need more fear mongering. It doesn't need more hatred. It doesn't need more divide. It needs more oneness. It needs more love. So do the work. It starts with you. It starts with your vibration. It starts with the energy that you are emitting, the signal that you are sending out every single day. So take ownership, take personal responsibility this week and go, what is the frequency I want to be broadcasting to this earth, to this world, to the people around me, and how can I radiate more love? So important. So it starts with ourselves, it starts with that vibration, and as these subconscious belief systems rise, as these things come up that we might not like, we might not enjoy, we might want to judge, we've got to wrap that in compassion, we got to wrap that in love so we can heal it. And every time you do that, and they're showing me this is going to be a consistent effort, consistent process, wrapping your thoughts in love, wrapping the programs in love is what's going to make the change. Because the minute you break the cycle and you continue to commit to breaking that cycle, when that negative thought comes in and you say, no, I'm not listening to you anymore. That is the old program. That is the old story. That is the old me. And you choose to think something different. You choose to ingrain a new belief system. The more and more that becomes anchored. So they're really showing me repetition this week. Repetition, affirmations, things that really ingrain this new belief system for yourself. And really take note of how often you are in negativity rather than positivity. And once again, this does not condone bypassing your emotions. So as we move through this full moon, this is the time to be embracing your emotions. This is the time to be feeling the emotions, not overstepping them, not avoiding them, feeling them, but setting them free. And this is the key thing that we need to keep learning, is how to stop villainizing the emotions we feel, honoring the emotions we feel, even if they're negative, even if it's anger. You have holy anger, you have sacred anger, and it needs a voice, it needs a catalyst, it needs to be released. But once it is released, you let it go. You stop picking at that old wound. You stop picking at the scab and reopening it to heal all over again. And this is what we're learning to do. So this week, it's all about taking charge. It's taking forward action. It's taking empowered action in your life. If there is something you don't like, then do something about it. If you are dissatisfied with your life, then do something about it. What is it you need to do to make a change? So, deep dive this week. Go into it. What is it specifically I don't like? What is it specifically that's driving me wild? What is bothering me? Okay? Take the time to address these things. It's so, so important. So from there, we have the final countdown till these are fully healed and let go. See how far you've come. Kindness and patience are key. Okay, this is where they showed me breath work being exceptionally healing for us this week and super calming for our nervous systems, because they're showing me hypervigilance here. So someone who has constantly been overanalyzing every little thing, has been constantly in this fight or flight response, that hasn't been able to come out of that space. So they're really kind of showing me that the subconscious work is also going to help trigger the healing of the nervous system, because we're letting go of these triggers. We're healing these triggers. So they were showing me we're in the final stages, because we're learning how to actually change our lives. We are learning how to rewire at the foundation, at the subconscious level. And this is changing things. This is creating a catapult into abundance, creating a catapult into love, and that being the foundation for your life. The more and more you do these things, the more and more you ground this new foundation of love. So it is only a matter of time till you release these negative programs, till you release what needs to be healed and let go. And this is illuminating you to this like wow moment, because you're like, holy crap, I really am the ruler of my life. Holy moly, I actually am taking charge and I'm making a substantial change. And you're starting to see the changes, because they're really showing me the energies have been this catalyst for us the past few months to really move us into this newer vibration. So you might have noticed this deeper, more visceral experience of love. You might have been noticing this deeper connection with yourself and your soul and with your spirituality. And they're kind of showing me this goes beyond just spiritual connection. And it's almost like this inner knowing that, hey, I am safe and I'm going to be safe and everything is going to be okay, even though the world around you is in chaos. And they're just showing me this trust that is deepening within yourself and between you and the divine, and going, I don't have to stress. I don't have to worry. I can leave this in God's hands. I can leave this for the universe to take care of for me, because every time I've done that, I've seen how the universe follows through, and it's life-changing. So we are in the final countdown of releasing these programs for good to welcoming a life of abundance. And we just need to be kind and we just need to be patient. So I'm just hearing, in the meantime, while we're in this process of change, as we are undergoing this transformation, we need to be kind. We need to be patient. We need to take it one step at a time. And what will help you do that is trusting. So they're kind of showing me how, once again, this comes back to the nervous system. This comes back to the fear. And they're showing me the fear is truly a lack of trust. So if we just trust, if we just let go, and even if things aren't perfect, even if you're not there yet, you wrap yourself in love, you give yourself compassion, it changes the vibration, even towards your problems. And this is really key. This has been coming up very strongly the past few weeks, is learning how to work with energy. Okay, it's actually going to be very critical. They're actually showing me this new evolution taking place in the earth where people are waking up to energy work and how it is vital. It is very vital for us to be evolving and changing, and to bring forward this forward growth is learning how to work with energy. So if you have a problem this week, if there is an obstacle that you're like, man, this is driving me crazy, I can't seem to get past this, or I just can't be enough, or I'm just not there yet, or this world problem is really bothering me and it's so scary and I'm so upset about it, they're saying change the energy. Okay? If there is a problem, if there is an issue, and you keep funneling in fear, what is that going to do? Magnify the fear, magnify the problem. So, what we really need to be doing, if you want to heal this world, if you want to heal yourself, if you want to fix your problems, you cannot keep doing that through fear. The only way is through love. And we know this. We know this on a logical level. But can you start becoming so exceptionally zoomed in on only giving love to this issue? How could it make a change? So, what they are suggesting this week is change the energy. Change your perception of it. Send love intentionally to this issue. Ask your guides to assist you. Thank you, angels, for wrapping this situation in unconditional love, for laying your healing hands on this situation, on doing what is best for this situation, however you want to word it, and surrender it. Stop fixating on it. Stop worrying about it. Those of you who are energy workers, start sending energy, love energy to this issue. I've been doing this weekly, and it has been incredible to see the shift that has happened even in my life. If you are worried about a friend, wrap that friend in love. Send them love, right? If you're worried about your bank account, send Reiki to your bank account. If you're an energy worker, if you know Reiki, send Reiki to your bank account. Send Reiki to the issues you're having. And at the very least, you will get an illumination to what you need to shift. Okay? Every time I've done this, it has given mind-blowing results. So this is how we need to be starting to make the change that we want to see in the world, is by being the catalyst of love and doing something about it. Okay? They're kind of coming down on us hard. We're going to see some real chaos in this world. We already are. And this is our moment, light workers, to be fixated on purpose, fixated on love, not the problem, not what's not working. God can handle that. That's too big for you. That's too big for all of us. But when we combine our love, our energy, our light, that is what can move mountains. So do not push fear. Be grounded in love. And we're going to get wake-up calls to this. If you are not in alignment with love, you are going to get a wake-up call. And if that wake-up call comes, you need to be sitting up and listening. They're really coming down hard. What is stopping you from being in love? And this week, a lot of us are going to be illuminated to how it is actually ourselves. It is only us. It is only us that stands in the way of us receiving and projecting unconditional love. So if anything this week, start becoming aware of what separates you from that energy. It could be as simple as your perception. People don't love me. see how that immediately cuts you off from oneness? How that immediately cuts you off from connection? But what if that's not true? Right? This is what we got to be doing. This is the healing work we got to do. Is we got to rewire this subconscious setting of nobody loves me. Well, your life has changed, my friend. There are people who do love you. There are communities that will love you and be there for you, right? So this is where we need to rewire and take exclusive action, is in these beliefs. What is cutting you off from love? Make the change. Okay, now breath work is going to be essential this week. They're really mentioning breath work. So if you start getting anxious, if you start getting worried, if you start being in that energy of, oh my God, come back to your breath. It's simple, but it works. Okay? So from there, we have new skills to be mastered. Patience over frustration. What only goes skin deep? What truly matters? Reevaluate your day. What will make you shine? Okay, this was so cool because, once again, we got to do a bit of introspection this week. This is the big week to do that. And they're really wanting us to go into the details, okay? How do you spend every day of your life? Okay? It matters. So what needs to be shifted? What needs to be reevaluated? Okay? Now, they're actually kind of showing me this skill of being able to be a master over your own mood and over yourself and over the way you react to your day and to life and how it happens. So once again, they're showing me this amazing mastery of ourselves and what we're believing, what we're doing, and what we are promoting every single day. So they're really bringing this energy of anger and frustration that's been evident the past few weeks. So maybe you've been noticing this. Maybe there's been little things like, man, this is really pestering me. This is really bothering me. What can you do to make the change? So asking ourselves regularly, what is it that really matters? And how can I release what doesn't? So once again, if this anger and frustration is present, they're actually kind of showing me it coming from a couple areas for a lot of us. And one is this oversensitivity. So this constant go, go, go energy, this nervous system that is out of balance, that is making us stress, this fear that has been motivating the actions, and this inability to take time to be. So they're actually kind of showing me that this week it's incredibly important to be, okay? So that's why we're getting this patience energy that's really coming in and needing to be here this week. Slow down, be patient. This comes to your goals. This comes with this deep subconscious work because you're healing a lot. Okay, this week we're going to be healing a lot. We're going to be releasing a lot. And there's big truths that are going to be coming through. So we need to be in the space to be able to receive that information and make the change. So how do we do that? It's through our spiritual practice. It's through learning the art of being and not doing. So they're kind of showing me that the frustration will really cease when we actually slow down enough to listen to what's actually being said. So are you listening to your emotions? Are you being present with yourself? Are you really taking those matters into your hands and doing the work? So the other area of this frustration is kind of in this perfectionism that's coming through. And some of us might be real perfectionists. And maybe we're like, I'm not doing enough. I should be this, I should be that, or I should be, growing in this way. And we can become very nitpicky when it comes to ourselves and our craft. So they're kind of showing me this energy also coming in this week that we'll need to be aware of. So release perfection. It is only breeding unhappiness. It is only breeding frustration and contempt for yourself. And we want to learn love. We want to be in this energy of love. So they're really showing me this shift that needs to happen. And when we take a step back and we start seeing this frustration as a catalyst for us to get to this point of like, oh, okay, why am I frustrated? there's so much truth that then can come to light. And once again, we're getting this awareness of our new needs. So if you're dissatisfied, what is the real reason? Is there a need that is not being met, right? So start thinking of your frustration in a new way as this catalyst for growth, right? And this opens our eyes to what truly matters. So when you're frustrated as well, look into it. What is it really worth all of this hullabaloo? Is this situation that I'm really frustrated with, is it worth all this energy that I'm putting into it? Or is it okay if I just allow myself to take a step back? Is it okay if I just give myself a break? Is it okay if I start focusing and channeling my energy elsewhere and come back to it at a later time? So they're just kind of giving me this awareness that this week we're going to get, alternative ways of looking at this. And it really helps. And this is helping us master life for when problems do arise. So we're weighing the worth of our frustration and our stress and our mental health. Is this worth my mental health? Is it worth my physical health? Is it worth this stress? Right? Learn to let go. Learn to surrender. Learn to not give into fear and into anger. Reevaluate your day. Reevaluate how you are spending and placing your energy and time. So this is where we need to once more go into what will make you shine. And this was beautiful because they're kind of showing me like you're at this space in your evolution where we need to be shining. So what makes you feel so good, so topped up that you are like the sun, that you can just be a beam of light? That's what we need, okay? We need you in your light. Not in the doom and gloom, not in the anger and frustration. There's a time for that, absolutely. Feel those things. You're human. But in the end, we need you to be in your light as often as possible. So what can you do to be in your light as often as possible? And they're also kind of showing me this trick that we're using for our mind in the law of attraction, because sometimes we can be like, my joy, I'm going to prioritize that last. And we come up with these excuses of why we shouldn't prioritize the things that light us up. So they're giving me this trick that will help. And this trick is, I will attract more health, more wealth, and more abundance the more I'm in that energy. So the more you prioritize being in your joy, the more you will become a magnet for abundance. And this is something we can logically understand. It's not just woo-woo nonsense. We're starting to see, this is actually how I achieve abundance in my life, is by being abundant right here, right now, and changing the energy. So once again, we need to learn energy, okay? Prioritize energy. If you're interested in energy work, reach out. I still teach Reiki classes. I work one-on-one with you to show you everything I know. If this is something that interests you, reach out to me because it's going to be pivotal. It is already pivotal to help you work with your energy, work with others' energies, work with your manifestation abilities, okay? And at the very least, help you with your problems by changing the frequency. So they're really showing me this is the time to be shining. So what are those practical things that you need to be prioritizing every day that put you in a space to shine? So some examples were daily meditation, a daily walk. Now this is something I feel we need to talk about. A lot of people don't realize that they can do a walking meditation. Try it, okay? For those of you who struggle to meditate, set an intention before you go on a walk, preferably in nature, and set the intention that during your walk, you are open and willing to receive any downloads and messages that you might need at this time, okay? And let me tell you, when you go on your walk, you will be receiving everything you need. So do that, try that. If you're like, I just don't have the time. On your commute to work, I'm setting the intention, guides. I'm setting the intention, universe. For this 30-minute drive, I am open and willing to receive. While I'm in the shower, I'm open and willing to receive. Like, prioritize and give the universe that time to come to you, and I guarantee they will. And become very intentional about it. So they're just showing me, like, making time for yourself is key. And that's what gives us that ability to shine, is the self-care, right? So are you taking time to just be? Are you taking time to meditate, to receive? Okay. So the other thing they showed me was, like, being with the universe. So they were showing me, like, when was the last time you just looked at the stars? When was the last time you sat with the universe and just was with it, was a part of it, connected with it? Do that. Do that. When was the last time you indulged yourself and did real self-care? And self-care is what works for you as an individual. So these are just ideas. What works for you? And then last but not least, working with your inner child. What makes your inner child so happy when you do it? Is it art? Is it writing? Is it journaling? Is it playing? Like, what is it that your inner child needs? And how can you start prioritizing that inner child as often as you would a regular child? They're saying it's so important. This is what changes the world. This is what changes our frequency. This is what anchors in love. So what can you do on a practical level daily to make sure you are shining? So let your day not permit suffering and dread, but peace. You are a human being. You are exceptional. You are strong beyond measure. Now, this was really interesting. They showed me this amazing perception of how our spirit guides see us, okay? Now, as human beings, we're so limited in our perceptions. We're so limited. It's like we have these blinders on. But what was really cool was during this session of channeling, they literally gave me this, like, outsider look where it was like, do you not know how strong you are to be a human being? And this was what floored me, is that our spirit guides see us as so strong. And we'd have to be, to volunteer as a spirit, to enter a human body, to live this human experience, to go multiple reincarnations, to endure the trauma and heal the trauma. Do you know how exceptionally strong you are? Like, and this was so amazing because it really landed in this reading that it was like, you have no idea how revered you are by the other side. They're just in awe of us because we took this opportunity. We are doing the hard, the tough, the difficult. And here we are still going. You are a human being. And this was said with reverence. This wasn't said as, hey, you're imperfect, you're human. You know, a lot of times we take that connotation as being human as like a negative thing. We're weak, we're not strong enough, it's tough, it's hard. Yes, okay, it's tough and it's hard and it's never going to be perfect. But at the same time, can you start seeing your humanness as extraordinary? As a testament to how strong your soul really is? How strong you really are? It's amazing. And once again, this shift in perception is amazing for us because once again, it honors us. It glorifies our being as opposed to taking away from it, villainizing it. You are strong beyond measure. You are exceptional. let that land. Did you know you are exceptional just by being here? So see what it really takes to live a human life. You are extraordinary. So from here, it was so cool because they were showing me our spirit guides just being like, we want to help. Like, we want to help you through this human life because we know it is so hard. We see it. We see how strong you are. Like, we want to help. So we need to be asking for that help, and we need to be willing to receive that help. So this week, once again, we got to look and be like, hey, am I asking? Am I willing? Am I trying to do everything by myself? Am I trying to be hyper independent of the universe? Where can I be accepting help more freely? So pray every day. This is what came through. Pray every day to receive the help you need, and the blessings will abound. Okay? And they didn't put this as like a question mark. It was like, period. The blessings will abound. Okay? Pray every day. So clear the energetic roadway. Work smarter, not harder. How can you energetically clear the obstacle? So this goes back to what we were talking about earlier in the reading, learning how to shift the energy towards a situation. So once again, if you envision your life path, what are the obstacles on it? And how can you energetically start sending love there? Start clearing the road, okay? And the more we ask, the better it will be. So they're saying, pray every day, receive every day, be very clear in what you need help with, right? So how can you clear the way? You are being taught ease and grace. Get used to it. That's literally what channeled. Get used to it, okay? So they're also showing me how this dissatisfaction comes in when we're just not used to safety, when we're just not used to having time, where we're not used to having things go smoothly. And we're like, what is this? I don't like it. It's uncomfortable. I need to be doing something. I need to be working at something. And they're just showing me this is, once again, where working with the nervous system is going to be paramount, because we need to learn to feel safe in safety. Isn't that a catch 180? When we're so attuned to what's not working and danger and fight or flight, when we're placed in safety, you think we're going to feel safe? No, we've got to start rewiring. We need to start working with the nervous system to see it is okay. So, nervous system compromised, not used to the calm. Regulate it. So what can you do to regulate your nervous system? So they're showing me once again, nature, 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 time with Mother Earth, time just being, doing things that help calm you, that help you feel safe in the moment. And once more, that's going to look different for all of us. So do what's right for you in that. But brainstorm, what are the things I can do? What are the things I need to do to calm myself and be in this space of willingness to receive, to feel safe in my life, and to propel this ease and grace? I need to get used to it. My life is now going to be a life of ease and grace. So once more, we're kind of showing me really anchoring this in and acknowledging it. A lot of us are still avoiding the truth that we are now in a new timeline. We are now in this space of ease and grace, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. This is the energy that is being propelled. So we need to be dropping into it, and we need to start accepting it instead of fighting it and denying its existence. The more you start receiving it, the more you start acknowledging it, the more you start creating it and propelling it, the more it becomes so. Okay, so this was interesting. They said, pretend. Pretend you're light years ahead and you shall be. Work with the soul, not the goal. Believe in yourself until it becomes natural, one step at a time. There is no need to rush anything. Focus upon creation rather than lack. Closing the doors to heaven because you're already there. You are already everything you should be. This was so beautiful. So from there, we have releasing comparisons and illusions that we're not good enough, and celebrating the self. And this is what makes your dreams come true. Such a beautiful reading. So the advice here is, if you're like, I just can't believe I'm enough. I can't believe I'm in ease and grace. I can't believe the world's going to be okay. I can't believe that love will lead. I can never see that happening. Pretend. Literally. That's what we have to do, because once again, we have to create this new neural pathway. And that takes repetition. That takes practice. That takes time and effort. So we need to be reinforcing it. So at first, we're going to feel phony, because they'll be like, this isn't real. Because all that we've known to be real is the pain and the suffering and the darkness and the fear. And why have we needed that? To keep us safe. But when we realize we are safe, you are safe in your life, now everything's got to change. So what feels normal to you, what your ego is going to say is normal, is now the illusion. Like, how powerful is that? It's an illusion. It's not real. What you think is real is not real. And now it is time to propel what you do think is real. What actually is real. What is actually true. So pretend. So the fake it till you make it, it really works. And they're really showing me that. Like, pretend you are light years ahead and you shall be. So once again, it's like embodying the person you want to become. And doing it now rather than later. Doing it now as opposed to waiting until you're good enough. Right? And this was so cool, because they were showing me this loving practice of, when we keep saying we're not good enough and we keep comparing ourselves and we're never there, we start shifting this mindset when we start going to this reality or this perspective of, I'm going to just focus on my soul and not the outcome. So soul, not the goal. So once again, when we pivot things to the present moment and we remove our eyes from what everyone else is doing, and we go inward and we listen to ourselves, we listen to what makes our souls happy, and we do the things we want to do because it's what makes us happy, everything changes. We no longer have these standards. We no longer have these limits to our talents, to our abilities, to our goals, to what we want to do. It's all in perfect time. It's all in perfect harmony. And we're so consumed in that moment because we love what we're doing. Everything else fades away and none of it matters. So they're showing me, like, focus instead on the outcome. Focus on the creation. What are you creating? What do you want to create? And how can you love the process of the creation? So they're also showing me how we've been so programmed to just be like, get to the goal, get to this, get to that progress. This is when you then can celebrate. That's when you're enough. Celebrate the process. Celebrate the imperfection. Send love to what's bothering you, right? And see how then the chains literally fall away. You're not encaged by what you love. You're not encaged by your dreams. You're not stuck in the drudgery. You're in the purpose. You're in the fun. You're in the play. You're in the creative vortex. And you're in fulfillment. And all the anger drops away. All the frustration of, I'm not there yet. It dissolves. It doesn't exist when you're in this moment of joy. So how can you prioritize the joy in what you are creating rather than the lack? And this transforms your perception. This transforms your life because you see the closing doors to heaven. I thought that was so cool because you realize you're already there. You're like, I don't need to go anywhere else. I'm already in my heaven on earth. And that's something a lot of us were not taught. A lot of us believe that we would be going somewhere else. Maybe we believed we'd have to go to heaven to be able to really enjoy our existence and all of that. So when we come to this reality that, wow, actually I can have a wonderful human existence on earth, it kind of blows our mind because once again, we've been taught so differently that life is arduous, life is hard. And yes, there's going to be challenges, but once again, we come back to this personal empowerment of how we can react to these situations, how we can be in those situations. We come to this self-development and awareness of how we can still be love even when the world is in chaos, even when life is in chaos. We can still be in this personal heaven. So can you think about that this week? How can you create your heaven on earth? And can you start believing that it's actually possible? So realizing you're already there, you're everything you already should be. And so this week we're going to see a lot of self-acceptance being a theme. A lot of us are going to start dropping into the awareness of, I just want to love myself. I just want to love my life. I just want to love others. And this amazing heart opening happens. This heart expansion happens from not letting anyone in to being afraid of connecting and being afraid of the world to this total transformation of love. I want to be in love with my life, with myself, with others. And that is what I want to be promoting. That is what I want to be anchoring in the rest of my human existence. I want to celebrate my human existence as opposed to not. So it's beautiful. It transcends this illusion that many of us are living in, that of division. It transmutes this energy. It helps us move into oneness. And this is what brings celebration, because you did it. And they're showing me this triumph. You did it. You transmuted all that negativity, all the cards that you were dealt in this hard human life, and you turned them into something beautiful. You turned yourself and your existence into something beautiful, into pure light, into pure love. And this week you need to step back and look at what you've done. Look at what you've created with pride, with gratitude, with joy. This is the moment you've been waiting for, and you've given it to yourself. Let that land. You've given yourself a life of love. And in turn, you've given the world more love, more light, and more healing. So friends, that's what I have for this week. What an amazing reading. I feel like there were so many nuggets and so many good gems to be unearthed in this reading. If you feel called to listen to it again, write down the questions, dig deep within yourself this week. Do that introspection, that inner work. You will not regret it. The more you can free yourself, the more you can question yourself, the more you can pour compassion and love into yourself and in your personal life, the more this can echo out into this planet. We need you. We need your light. Let's not stop ourselves from sharing it. So sending you all the love in the world. If I can assist you on your journey, if you would like some Reiki, if you would like to learn